I feel like it's pretty rare for a romance anime to sneak past me these days, thanks to this YouTube channel. I'm still working on catching up to some established greats. Apologies to Toradora and Dangers in My Heart fans. I promise I'm going to get to them soon. But generally, I track current releases really closely. Some of that is practical. YouTube favors new releases when excitement is at a high. But it's also just fun to watch the story change week by week, find new things to explore and highlight in real time. I tallied it up, and I'm watching 9 shows this season, which is both a testament to how much good anime there is right now, and my desperate need to get out of the house more. You can imagine my surprise then when I stumbled upon a little romance anime from last season that I never even heard passing mention of. The Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife is awesome. I'm just gonna cut right to the chase with that. It's not the most profound thing I've ever seen, but it scratches a very specific itch for an adult romance with characters that are open about their affections and get to progress their relationship without a ton of artificial roadblocks. If you like the sort of anime that I normally talk about on this channel, I borderline guarantee that this little 12-episode story will be worth your time. So if it's so great, why did no one talk about it? And obviously I'm exaggerating a bit here. It's not like it got absolutely no attention. But there's no doubt that it's the smallest show I've covered on this channel. And anecdotally, I really didn't see anything about it pop up on the various forums and channels I peruse. Even a cursory YouTube search shows basically no video essays that normally signal popularity or discourse. Well, to address the elephant in the room, or rather the elephant not visible in the room, there's a supernatural element to this romance. The world is full of different mythical creatures, all of them blending together in this version of modern society. And in our main pairing, Akira is the titular Invisible Man. While I found this aspect of the plot to be at its best really fun and interesting, and at its worst a net neutral, I do think that to someone skimming over shows, it would distract a bit from how straightforward a lot of the romance is. But I really am serious when I say that beneath some of these surface level gimmicks, this is some of the best romance that I've seen recently. So let me walk you through what I think makes this anime special, in a basically spoiler-free way, since I know a lot of you probably haven't seen it yet. And maybe you'll give it a shot too. So the whole crux of this show is that Shizuka, a blind woman, and Akira, an invisible man, fall in love. While this seems like a perfect fit in a lot of ways, this pairing does pose a unique storytelling conundrum. With Akira being transparent, and Shizuka needing to approach the entire world with a certain amount of caution, a lot of the onus of making these characters come to life falls on the vocal performances. Lucky for us, this is where the show absolutely excels. Shizuka and Akira's chemistry jumps off the screen at every moment, their voices communicating how they feel with so much clarity. Akira's smooth confidence is a nice change of pace from a lot of other romance protagonists. And when he does become a bit coy, it creates great contrast. Shizuka, though, is the real star of the show. Hearing her ping-pong between nervous and excited and overly confident and falling apart with a truly impressive array of shrieks and squeaks and guffaws is an absolute treat. But the best part may be that none of the wild emotions ever keep her from asking for what she wants. A key difference from some other shows in the genre. I think it's one of those little perks afforded by this being an adult romance, making things like going out or spending the night together not nearly as scandalous as they would be in your run-of-the-mill high school story. This also helps the pacing a lot, allowing things to progress between Shizuka and Akira at a satisfying clip throughout the season. Candidly, the surrounding world of this story is not a huge positive for me. I mean, there is this funny frog businessman, which is a plus, but I was almost too invested in the main romance to care as much about the other things going on. If you want it, there's some thinly veiled metaphors about real societal issues, but again, not the main focus for me at least. Where I did think the supernatural parts of the story really popped was with Akira. All of the little visual tricks and flares to make this invisible man work as a compelling character were really cool. This is not a bit you can partially commit to, and they don't pull any punches here. There's a lot of playing around with the suggestion of where Akira is, or clever environmental factors that indicate his general shape. Even seeing liquids pour down his invisible throat has its own charm. You can feel how much extra thought had to go into breathing life into this character that isn't visible, but still interacts with everything around him. I felt that especially with just 12 episodes worth of content, the gimmick never got old. One last thing I want to shout out is that this show sneakily looks great. The soft, textured look to everything fits this sweet little love story incredibly well. And every once in a while, there's some shots that really jump out at you. It's a style that matches the vibe perfectly, and I think that deserves its own commemoration. Also, without spoiling anything, there's randomly this insane sequence in the 11th episode that is a complete stylistic departure from the entirety of the rest of the show that's almost worth the watch on its own. But you'll need to watch yourself for more details. The Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife is an incredibly sweet romance that happens to take place in a world full of mystical creatures. I understand that the surrounding aspects of the anime may not be a lot of people's cup of tea, but I am being serious when I say that the main relationship was such a breath of fresh air that I needed to spread the word. I started this series on a Sunday morning just to accompany my first cup of coffee. And by the time the sun was setting, I was finished. Safe to say that I did not get any of the work done I was intending to. But it was worth it, and I hope you'll check it out too. Maybe spread out your watching a bit more than I did though. And that ends today's episode of Love and Anime. I hope you enjoyed. I haven't really used this series to recommend a show before. I tried to ride a line between making something that would convince someone new to watch, while also praising the parts I enjoyed for those who have seen it already. Let me know if you think it worked. If you enjoyed the video today and like video essays about romance, anime, and romance anime, liking and subscribing helps a ton and will keep you in the loop, as does hitting the hype button on the mobile app. I'm Slam Anime, and I'll see you next time.